Good evening, good evening. Here we are, and we are live. So now we wait for people to come on in. Opening my door and allowing you to come in. And you can help yourself to nibbles whilst you're here as well. I mean, there are no nibbles, but you can help yourself to some if you can find some. Els is in the room. Good evening, Els. Lovely to have your company. We're going to wait for a few more people to join in. And then we shall get you on live. Hello. Oh, Radkins Nursery is watching. Hello. I hope you're well. Lovely to see you. I'm just changing my Facebook to Janice Phillips. Let's turn that down because I don't want to hear myself. Do we know? That's right. That's good. Okay. Who else can then put my glasses on? Here we go. Knitwings. Knitwings Night. Knitwings Night. Who's Knitwings Night? That's a great name. Hello, Dawn. How are you? Is it flooded in Kirby still, Dawn? I heard it was really bad. Anita, hello, Anita. I hope you're well. Nice smiley face from you. Katie, are you on your bike? And by me saying that, that's what I say, get on your bike, is because Katie goes on a bike during the Facebook Lives that we do, and she pedals for the whole time. So the longer we can talk, the more Katie pedals. So that's really good. Kelly, good evening to you. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you as well. Wow, what a day, what a day. It's been one of those days today, you know, one of those days. We went for a walk in the park, which was really nice. We saw lots of gorgeous deer, some fawn and some stags, but it was really cold. There was lots of ice about, so we were walking quite carefully. So that was nice. Then we came back and we had some lunch and coffee, and then the afternoon has just been a bit like that. But it's all good. It's all good. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Helen. Nice to see you. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone's having a lovely day. And I hope my hair. Everyone's done a bit of crafting. I tried to get in the hairdressers today. As usual, I suddenly decided I need my hair doing. Excuse me. So I phoned the hairdresser going, can you get me in today? Can you get me in today? And they're like, no, please, just a little, just put a squeeze. But the answer was no. But then that was fine. That was fine. Hello, Hayley Smith. Lovely to see you. I hope you're well. Hello, Lillian. Lovely name. I love the name Lillian. It's my grandma's name. It was my grandma's name. Jennifer, nice to see you tonight. Nice to see you nice. Did I bring my water over? Yes, I did. Barbara Gray is watching. Hello, Barbara. I hope you're well. We're having a nice chat, Barbara and myself, this afternoon. And if you don't know, Facebook Live with Friends is going on the road to Kent. I'm going over that bridge. I'm already doing therapy on myself to go over the bridge, but it's all good. And we are going live from Clarity Towers from the studio. I'm so excited to see the studio because I've only seen it from this side. So we're going to go into the studio and we're going to go live, and that's going to stream on here. So it's going to be a collaboration in more ways than one. So super excited about that. If you don't know, please watch on Thursday. We've got some really good news. And I wish Thursday was tomorrow. It's not. Tomorrow is Wednesday. But Thursday. So that's going to be really good. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you get a preview of the stamps that we got coming out. I'm just so excited. That was stamps, if you didn't hear me. Be brave, Janice says, Barbara, I know. But if I'm not, I can go around the other way, can't I, on the M25? I'll go one way. I'll either go that way or that way. I know, Hayley, you've been doing a live tonight. Or did you do yours at 5 o'clock today? I think. I saw the picture of you with the duck. Hope it went well. Lots of people doing lives tonight. So I saw Sarah Payne is live. She was doing some crochet. I know Dan's been live tonight. So it's, as my mum would say, all over the ocky. But that's fine. That's fine. So good evening, Emma. I hope you're well. So tonight we've got Els who, if you tap on that icon down the bottom, Els, let's see if you're there already. No, if you tap on the icon, I know you're here, just at the bottom of the screen. If it's not there, just scroll across left or right and you'll see it's two little people. Haley said she was on at 5. Yes. Oh, she's there. She's there. This is live from Denver. I'm so excited about this. Let's tap on that. Let's tap on that and let's send the invitation. And can come live from all the way over the pond, and then some more land and some more land. There it is. Yes, it's worked. Good. Now I say good evening. What do you say?
Good afternoon. It's just 6 minutes after 12.
And how is the weather? Are you in Denver?
I'm in Denver, and we got our first real snow here. Wait, I'll show you.
Oh, lovely. Oh, wow, look at that.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, that's real snow. That's not English snow.
No, but yes, some nice. I saw some very, very nice pictures from the UK from people posting. So
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
it's it's all gone to pot now, and everywhere's flooded. So yeah, we really are up a creek without a paddle. So I hope everyone's safe. But yeah, so I went for a walk today, Els, in the park near where I live, the deer park, and there was lots of stag and lots of deer. But you don't have to walk that far, do you, to see them?
Nope, they walk by. They walk by.
Oh,
Yeah.
it must be a fantastic place to live.
It is. It is. It is actually. We moved like a little bit over 2 years ago. We really lived very high on the top of a mountain, like 10,000 feet, like 3,000 meters.
Yes.
So that was super high, and we had lots of snow there, and it was absolutely gorgeous. But the lots of snow was a lot of snow shoveling, and so we moved, as we call it, down the
Yes.
mountains. Down the mountain, but we're still in the foothills. So we have a beautiful walking,
Oh,
hiking, biking
wow.
area right behind us. Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah.
Always wanted to come to Denver, Colorado. Well, Colorado in particular, just as a state, from loving John Denver and all the old songs and just all the old imagery from films and things. I'd love to
Yeah,
go there. Is it as
yeah,
beautiful as you see on the films and as you hear in the songs?
yeah. I think Colorado is, we because we lived in California, and a lot of people think California is fantastic, which it
Yeah.
is. But what I love here is the seasons. We have seasons here, and Colorado has the most sunny hours,
Yes.
I think, of the US. So, and you can always be outside because you can dress for colds. You can, you know, in the summer it's always nice, and you can always be outside, and we have a lot of sun. So I really, really, yeah, because California we had a steady like 20
Yes.
degrees, so it was kind of almost always the same. And as I always say, I don't want to have Christmas with palm trees. I want to have pine trees with snow in so
Yeah.
it's yeah, so and every season is beautiful here, so yeah, really enjoy it.
It's interesting that I guess you don't really think about the fact that if you are in California, let's say in San Francisco, yes, it gets colder, but there are no real seasons. That's a really good point, actually. And I suppose with the seasons that change, that helps you with your artwork and your crafting
Yeah,
for the inspiration.
yeah, as well, of course, although we're starting to work way more ahead now for this year, so it will be Christmas earlier than in normal years, but yeah, so but absolutely, like a day like this when the snow is falling, oh my goodness, put me in my craft room for the whole day, and I am completely fine.
Oh, now tell me, Els, how did you start on your crafting journey? Because I know you've been for many years now, very, very successful. But what was the first stage that got you into crafting
Well,
before a business even?
yeah, well, I've always been crafty. Like, I did a lot of bracelets when I was in high school, and I did lots and lots of things. But working, so the business, I think we started about 14 years ago. Like, really, when we moved to the US, that's when I said, okay, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it anymore. And of course, when we moved from Europe to Canada first, that's when I quit my job. I was a sales manager for like right now, Royal Talents, basically what it is right now. But I was on the pencil side, like Brown Gel, and then Sakura took over like the gel pen stuff. And now it's all Royal Talents. I think Sakura is the owner, but if I'm correct, I don't know exactly, by the way. But so I don't know how the situation is. But so when we moved to Canada, I said to Joop, because it was for his work, I said I will do that, but then I will quit my job, and I'm not going to take a full-time job there because the kids stayed behind. They were adults already at the time, but I said I will do it, but I'm going back 4 times a year to see the kids and the family and my parents, and so that's what I did. So I quit my job, and then we moved to in the area of Vancouver, and it's a funny story. I'm always very, a lot of times I don't think about things, I just do, but it's
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
and that's probably my chaotic creative mind. But so we flew in. So the criteria was an airport. So sorry, I need to put my heating off because it's not too cold here. But the criteria was an airport because Joep was going to travel a lot for his work. So an airport was the criteria, and we liked skiing. I'd never been on this side of the ocean, so I said to Joep, I said, let's fly into Vancouver
Oh,
because Canadians are very down to earth, of course. So we thought that was the closest to us. So it was either Canada, US, or Mexico, because that was going to be his working area. So we said, let's do Vancouver, because, down to earth people. There were lots of Dutch, like for his work, there was a lot of people there. But we didn't know anybody there. So flew into Vancouver. And then because we like skiing, we said, we drive up to
Oh,
Whistler and see what we come along.
I'm
Because
leaving now. I'm leaving now. You're saying all of
no,
these meccas for skiing that I've never been to, that I've always wanted to go to.
yeah,
Wow.
is really, really cool as well. So we literally rented a car, and the company was going to pay for our housing for a year, kind of figure out where we were going to end up. And so rented a car, drove up to Vancouver, from Vancouver up north, and there was, at the time, there was only one road, one up, one down, and they were blasting the roadway for the Olympics at the time.
Okay.
So, and that was a lot of, stop and go, stop and go. So we ended up that night in Squamish, which is a little town. Now it's actually grown a lot, but there was nothing there. There was one hotel and a shipyard or something, but it was, yeah. So we said, okay, this is not going to be handy, because, getting to the airport with all the stops and go. And that was going to take a long time, because they widened that road. And so then you called a colleague, and one person he met in a show in the Netherlands, and he said, oh, Harry, I'm here, I'm in Squamish, and I'm looking for a place to live. And then Harry said, well, come to Langley tomorrow, and then you can see how it is here. And Langley is just outside of Vancouver. And so we did that the next day, and I literally saw a scrapbook store. When we drove into Langley, I said, oh, I see a scrapbook store, so let's stop there. So I walked in and said, else, I would like, I might live here. Can I teach classes here? And that's what I did. That's what I did. So we ended up in Langley for a year.
Yep.
But then we moved to Alberta. So then we moved to like in the area of Calgary. So where Josette is now, Banff. We didn't live in Banff, but we decided to go to Alberta, because Vancouver is so crazy, crazy expensive and crazy, crazy busy. So even from Langley, if you want to drive to Vancouver to the airport, you need to cross bridges, because there's a big river, and it's absolutely, I love Vancouver. It's a fantastic place.
Oh, don't talk to me about bridges, Els. I'm really scared of driving over bridges.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, oh, really? No. Well, I'm scared of the bridge in Oundle. If we're talking about a bridge, that was a scary bridge.
It was, wasn't it? It was shut off for a while whilst they were doing some works to it, because I think it was actually collapsing.
Oh, really? Because with those metal poles there, you would hit your car very easily.
They took them away. Yes, that's right. They introduced them, and everyone was getting stuck. I think a lorry got stuck like that inside them, but they took them away. It was all very bizarre to put them there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we moved to Alberta, and then we were there for a little bit. Actually, we really lived in the boonies, because the world ended basically where we lived.
Yeah.
And which was a fun experience, but we had internet dial-up, if you can believe it. So our internet was dial-up.
Wow.
Cell phone reach. We went to the library every day, which was a 7 kilometers drive to a little library, and that had internet. So we did our work. Crazy.
Crazy.
And then, and then Mark came. So Mark, our son, decided to come to Canada, and he became a ski instructor. And he literally said the words, "What do you guys think about moving back to civilization?" so that's what and then we moved closer to Calgary, and then they relocated Hugh to the US, and that's when we started really the business. I did some peel-off stickers already in Canada. That's because I designed peel-off stickers, and it was basically for I did it for Sakura for the gel pens. We had those glaze pens.
Yes.
And the glaze pen was a running ink, and the stickers held that ink in place. So that's what I did in Canada already. But like really start of the business we did when we moved to California. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of your crafting? Is it the designing? Is it seeing the designs? Is it making items with the stuff that you've created?
Janice, I don't design myself anymore.
Oh, do you? Oh, it's a family affair, though.
It is a family affair, yeah. So Josette has her own line, of course, and we have Esther for the planners, we have David for the journals, we have Angelica for the florals, and then we have Annette Green for the everyday elements. Oh. So we have,
Do you miss it? Do you miss designing?
No, because I'm so very involved in everything. So and I'm not a very computer person.
Yeah.
Like so I really like to with my hands on. That's why I don't know, I don't want to offend it, but I don't like electronic die cutting
Yes.
because I really want crafting for me is here in my craft room, standing up, cranking my machine. I also don't have an electronic die cutting machine like I hand crank because it's right behind me there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there. But
I'm doing that.
I like to and for people with if you have bad hands, of course the electronic is fantastic.
Yeah.
But as long as I everything is okay, I just like to stand up, walk around, grab things, and be busy.
Oh, but scrapbooking is something that you're really interested in, isn't it? I mean, that's the would you say that's the majority? The scrapbook building,
Yeah,
the
it's not
pages, the
scrapbooking,
elements,
of course. So it's the planner. So
planners.
scrapbooking,
Yes.
yeah, scrapbooking here is 12 by 12, and I've never been into that. Reason is because it's
Yeah.
big and bulky, and be, with the planners and the journals, when you travel, I can actually take it with me, and I can do something while I'm on the road,
Yeah.
and I really like that. So it's small. It's I can take my little. I have a selfie printer with me. I can print pictures, and that's what I really enjoy doing. Yeah, yeah.
I've got some planners here, Els, that I've bought in.
Oh, really?
These are the ones that I've collected throughout the years. So these are
Oh, yeah.
like, the old leather bound ones. So that's
Mhm.
from 1987. I think all I've got in there now is addresses from people. But this is quite interesting because this is from my days when I was working on the radio. So I've got lots of contacts for record companies
Yeah.
in that one. They probably don't even work for them anymore. I've got that one when I used to work for the BBC.
Oh, wow. You have
So
quite a
that's,
career. Quite a career.
oh, actually, have you ever been to Park City?
Oh, yeah. Utah. Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
from
really?
Park City. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
And then have you ever been to Lake Tahoe skiing?
No. You have been there,
Yeah.
well, to Lake Tahoe, but
That,
I've been teaching there, but I did not, well, outside of Lake Tahoe,
oh, it's
but I've never been
amazing.
there myself.
And
I
that's
know.
my friend's shop there.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've not opened these for years, but it's interesting, isn't it? What's this from? This is to the National Exhibition Centre. Who did I go and see? Who did I go and see there? Oh, of course, Leicester City football.
Oh, okay.
They're they're all there.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool. That's cool.
so really, I could put these because journaling is also about memories, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It is memory keeping, and it's. I just finished I did a December day by day, and so I have that here. But that's a journal, so that's an art journal,
Oh yes.
and so I do some. So that was like a prompt a day, so it was something every day. So we had
Oh, that's
prompts,
nice.
and then I just did everything. But I always put like this was Brooke's birthday. I
Oh,
always have some pictures in there. This was like when the kids have their so if I do a journal, I always like to kind of personalize it by adding pictures. And of
yes,
course, with the planners, you always put pictures in there because I really like that. And we have the sleeves for there. So you can make those things like, as you know, you can be crafty. And so you can kind of do stuff. You can be creative and then add the pictures to it for the planners. So I really like that idea. Oh, that's a little hamster.
that's it. That was who was that? That was Dolly. That was little Dolly. That was. I just pulled that out from a planner, and then of course it's not a planner
Oh,
unless you've got Elvis in there,
Elvis.
right? It's interesting though, picking it up, and I've even got this 5-year diary here.
Oh,
That
nice.
that is from when I was 10 years old for 5 years
Oh,
until I
really?
was until I was 16.
We had, so in the Netherlands, we don't have, I didn't have diaries myself, but we had poetry albums. I don't know how, poetry albums, I don't know, but you let your friends write little things in there.
Ah, a
Yeah,
bit like collecting autographs,
yeah,
maybe.
like that. Wait, I have it here. Give me a second because I have it here, right here. Yeah, I have them right at hand. It's kind of fun.
Anyone recognise that? Look, that's Nick Kershaw. There you go. I've got his autograph. Rick Parfitt, God rest his soul.
Oh, really? Who is that?
Yeah,
From which band was he from?
from Status Quo.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got
okay.
Andy Bell from Erasure.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's from 1987. I've got The Alarm, a band called The Alarm. Danny Wilson is in here. These have just been in my drawer. I've not got them out for ages. But who else is this from? Oh, do you know? Have you ever heard of a band called The Alarm?
No.
I've got their autographs there as well. It's funny, isn't it?
You were an autograph chaser.
Clearly I was, yeah. I think I've got a lot more on my records, and they're all signed, but they're in they're over there. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? What have you got to show?
Yeah. So this is my album from when I was a girl. Like I see I was 5 years old here, but this is what my mom did. So she wrote a little song, and then I know I have one in here. Like you started with your mom and my grandma.
Oh wow!
And what you see there too is the glue, but like you had some small images. 1966 we're talking here. Yeah, my dad, my other grandma. So they all wrote in there, and then I had my family in there, and
That's
then
lovely.
my sister, who was a bad writer, still is. But look at that. That's
that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
She was 9 there, so she could 8. She could have done better. But it's just, and that's, So, the teachers from school, you have so the teachers of school.
Oh, yeah, I've got my school report. I've just found this, actually. This actually connects me back to crafting in 1985. It says, "Dear Miss Phillips, thank you very much for your interest in our company. It's been a very difficult decision to choose an employee, but regretfully, we've got to inform you that the position has now been filled. We wish you every success in seeking future employment." And that's from somebody called Wayne Wright. There you go.
At least they answered you at the time. That was nice.
I don't know why I've kept that. That was probably my first job interview that I went for back in 1985. So I would have been 16,
4.
just left school. Yeah, 4, 4 years old. And sent out to work really early. Of course it was. Isn't it funny though when you look back, and these are things, I guess, Els, that I suppose you have that journal with you at arm's reach, because it's got a lot of memories, but sometimes when you put things in drawers, it's good to have an evening where you get them all out again and just read through them, and that's something I'm going to do later, and read through some of these old journals and diaries to see what actually went on, because it's interesting to find things when you open up pockets, which is funny.
So what are you up to, Janice, yourself?
Well, at the moment, not a lot. No, actually, I've got some news. I don't know whether you've heard this, Els, but I've got a stamp range coming out with in conjunction with Barbara Gray, Clarity.
I heard that. I heard you say, I heard that on the live. Yeah, that is exciting.
So I'm super excited. I'm going down to see the team at Clarity on Thursday.
I saw that last live.
And we're going to do a live at 4:00. So will we be able to show you? I'm not sure. I'm hoping we are, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited.
It's going to be a success for sure. It's going to be a success.
I hope so.
That is exciting. But it's kind of fun to see everybody from Creative Craft kind of finding their way in different directions, or it's kind of I follow. I don't know all the office staff, of course, but like the presenters, I kind of see them popping up on different things. But kind of finding their way as well. So I hope 2025 will be very successful for everybody.
Yes, I hope so too. Now, are you still doing lives? Do you have a website? People have joined us. Maybe they know they love you. They want to see you more. Maybe they've not seen you before. How and where can they get hold of you, Els?
Well, of course, so Elizabeth Craft Designs, Facebook page, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, of course. So we have all that. And we do a live actually on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this time. So 7 p.m. UK time. And I don't do them all myself. So the designers and the design team members do it as well. But so that's an hour-long live most of the time. And we started that basically COVID was the start of that, because we did all those shows and that stopped. And then I said right away, because people were sitting at home, we were all cooped up. So it was so kind of to connect to people. A lot of people are alone, and and I said we need to connect to the people, because it was a can't remember, you forget quickly, but it was a very strange time. And so started to do the lives at that time, and we just kept doing that, because that's you build a kind of a community. We have the Elizabeth Craft Designs family page, so everybody can post there what they create with their products, and that is super fun. And yeah, so busy with that. And yeah, we're going to do some shows. You wanted to do some consumer shows again, so we're going to do that in the US. I'm going to do one in
fabulous.
the net. Yeah, I'm going to do one in the Netherlands, and I know we looked at the UK as well, but because our marketing manager actually lives in the UK.
Yeah.
And we have two marketing people, real marketing people. They both live in the UK.
Two, not two.
So, no, no. Well, both, but yeah. So they both live.
Got that one.
Yeah. So yeah, they both are from the UK. Yeah.
Yeah.
One. Yeah. So Gemma, I don't know what she did before exactly, but Liz was she worked for Heartfelt Creations. So she was a marketing lead for Heartfelt Creations. As she's now a marketing manager. I don't know if I use the right term. I hope,
yes.
Liz, if you're here, I never use, but she's a marketing top. And so she takes care of all our. And she said, oh, we should do a show in the UK as well, because it's, of course we lost Creative Craft, and it was for us a big one. Of course, we have fantastic store owners in the UK that sell our products.
Yes.
Because shipping to the UK from our website is not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
So with all the taxes and the things they charge, so it's but Sir Stampelot is one of our very dear customers. So so people can go there. But we're in more stores and. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting see what's happening in the UK this year.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's an interesting year. Like you say, everything's been turned on its head. Lots of people are running around, but it's interesting to see little mounds being grown again in different areas and just where it all lies. So yeah, it's interesting times.
Yeah.
What are all the paints at the side of you? Are they paints?
Yeah, they are acrylics, and I tell you, Janice, I hardly use those, but it looks so nice because I use them to paint my journals with. Because we do so here we do I alter my journals with paint.
Nice.
And then paste and stenciling, and so I love doing that. And here's another one, but yeah. So nice. That was a little charm there with I don't know if people seen that, but that's super fun. So this is shrink foil.
I love shrink plastic, and shrink foil. Yeah.
We use a pancake maker for that, and that I know. Yeah, a pancake maker, and I know people in the UK will know that because Marion Amberson from Wow.
Yes.
She actually brought us to that, and because she used it for embossing powder. It is fantastic, Janice. It's fantastic.
Do you know what else? I've got a pizza maker which is about 5 times as big as that, with the same principle. Could I do that on that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a stone coating for stone.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Pizzas.
But all the tools, because shrink plastic always comes and goes.
Yeah.
And it's always around. And when Marion showed this, and I had a special tool from C6, and I was never successful with it because it always shrinks the wrong way. And with this little thing,
it's perfect.
And here it was, I think $12 or something we bought it for. So it's super, and it works like a charm.
Actually, someone else on here, Belinda Zimmer, she says one of my favorite things is making shrink foil in my pancake maker.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I think you've started a new trend. I think I better go and buy a load of pancake makers so I can sell them.
That was literally in the Netherlands. Everybody was looking for it, and here it's very common because here people eat a lot of pancakes in the morning as well. So here it was super easy to get. But in the Netherlands it was a little bit more difficult already. But it's around. But you just need to make sure that you have because they also come with shapes that you have a Christmas tree or whatever in there. But you need to have a flat surface. And then I have videos about that, but so people can look it up. But so if you go to the Elizabeth Crafty House YouTube channel, and then I have a craft mat, a piece of a craft mat in there. Okay. You put it in there, and you put your shrink foil, close it, and it comes out like perfect.
Isn't that brilliant? Crafters are very resourceful, aren't they, Els?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So not my idea, but it works, and it's the first time that I'm really successful with. I did this one, although the bird is not shrink foil, but I just did this one. It was actually.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so flowers, and I have like the little bees. It's fun. Yeah, so I have a bunch of those things now.
Oh, but lots of people are saying that they use a pancake maker for shrink foil. Sylvia says she uses one. Anita said she loves her pan. I think I did see another comment saying I think we're going to break Amazon now because everyone's heading over to that.
Yeah, and check the YouTube because it is so the shrink foil, but also embossing powder. So if you embossing powder, you can put that in there as well.
Yeah.
I sprinkle some embossing powder on my shrink foil as well, but just regular embossing powder. If you put embossing powder on something, you put it in your pancake, and it works really, really well.
But not in the pancake you eat, just in the pancake maker for your craft.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a
Els,
good one.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I thank you so much for taking your time in your crafting room, in your crafting day to come and speak to us. But I'd love to have you back. Will you come back again?
Oh, I'd love to, Janice. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. It's been really nice, and it's kind of nice to connect a little bit with the UK again. Because I should have come to Oundle before because it just didn't happen anymore. No. But I should have come because I really enjoyed it. So
and we loved having you. Every time you come, we loved having you. So definitely get you on again. I'm going to get in touch with David as well. You're David, and we're going to get him on a live as well.
Oh, he will love that. He will love that. Yeah, for sure.
He will.
Yeah.
So listen, what have you got lined up for the rest of the day? You're sitting in your craft room doing some designs?
So Josette just left with the kids. So she was here. She left yesterday. I'm going to take down my Christmas tree because that was still up.
Oh yes, it's January the 6th today. You must do that.
You must do that. No, it was yesterday the 6th. Yesterday
was it today? Yeah, today's the 7th. So you'll be fine.
I had two. So a small one and a larger one, and the small one is down already, and the larger one I'm going to do now.
Yeah. Well, listen, Els, you have a lovely afternoon, whatever you do. Stay safe. Oh, yes.
Oh, we were going to do a giveaway.
We are. What have we got to give away?
Well, I'm not going to show it because it's brand new. I'm going to give away one of the new releases from David. So you will get a passport size journal, an XL size journal in a new color. And then we have 3 die sets, large die sets, 2 stamp and die combinations, and 2 stamp sets. So I'm giving away the full collection to somebody.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I'm glad you remembered now.
Yeah.
Okay. To give everyone a chance to see this and maybe have a watch tomorrow, because I put this on and some people can't make it at this particular time, what we'll do is I will choose somebody at random. Just put yes please in the comments now, and I will choose somebody at random tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll get that information to you or to David, and we'll get everything sent out to them. That's amazing. So
and people should also sign up for your YouTube channel, because I noticed you started that as well.
Yes, I have. Yes, Janice Phillips TV. Sign up for the YouTube channel. That'd be fantastic. But just put yes. Actually, that would have been a good thing. I could have said sign up for my YouTube channel and then pick a winner, but I'm not. I'm going to let people put yes.
They can do both. They can do both.
Do both. Sign up to my YouTube channel, Janice Phillips TV. I might choose you from there, or just put yes please in the comments, and I'll choose a winner tomorrow, and I'll let you know, Els. That's really generous of you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your life here.
Yes, I shall see you soon, Els.
Yes,
bye-bye.
Thank you, Janice. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, the lovely Els. Let's just remove Els because we've got another guest lined up. Wow, I totally forgot about the giveaway. Totally forgot. That is amazing. So that is a full collection. So just put yes, please. I can see you starting to put that now. That's absolutely fine. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Elaine. Jane, put yes, please. I'm only kidding. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Debbie. That's amazing, isn't it? So I'll pick up. Fiona says yes, please. I shall pick a winner at random, and one of you will win. That's just amazing. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. Right. Shall we have a look to see who's ready? You keep putting yes, please in the comments. Stay where you are, because we've got the lovely Gina. Let's bring Gina B on. Let's hope Gina's Wi-Fi is working. She was having issues with it. She's having a new Wi-Fi installed, but she's here. She's here. What's going on? Why is everything working so well tonight? Hello, Gina.
Hello.
How are you, my lovely?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are they all buttons behind you?
They are all buttons, yes.
Oh, wow.
They're from either my 2016 or my 2021 button a day challenge. So different ones grouped according to how I'm going to write instructions and things like that. I change them up when I feel like it.
That's amazing. How many buttons do you think you've made in your career?
I wouldn't like to count. really wouldn't like to count.
If you had a penny for every button.
I'd be very rich.
How are you, Gina? Barbara Gray says hello, by the way.
Hi,
She's on here
Barbara.
tonight. So you've been having troubles with your Wi-Fi, haven't you? But it seems to be working now.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We're getting a new connection booster set up tomorrow. Got an engineer coming out, but yeah, rural internet. While everybody else was pushing to go live, I was failing miserably. So we've been working on it.
The first should be last, and the last should be first. That's what you need to think about. But you're getting there. That's the main thing. That's the main
thing. Exactly.
But have you been in between that?
I can't hear a word you just said.
How have you been? All of that.
I've been all right. Thank you. Yeah, we're cracking on. That's what you do. I managed to get the latest book that was going to launch on Create and Craft in November. We managed to get it all sorted. We had obviously the same blip everyone else had, but managed to get it sorted for December. So we managed to launch it before Christmas, thankfully. So yeah, that was good.
And what is the book called? And where can we get hold of it? And do you have it there? Yes.
Complimentary star buttons from my website.
Okay. Yeah. And what can we expect in the book? What are you teaching us?
It's a little bit more complex, this one, I'd say. There are some very easy buttons, but then there are also some quite intricate ones in there as well. So it's the same format as my other books. It's step-by-step photographs, so you can go through. And if you do them more or less in the order of the book, it will take you through, and then you'll learn and develop as you go.
Well, I know from doing shows with you, when you make and create those buttons, it's amazing to see them develop right in front of your eyes. Yeah. And it's amazing to see, it's not easy, it's something you've got to learn, but it's achievable, isn't it?
It's technique based. So once you've got the technique, then it comes down to practice. Okay. And so I find when I'm teaching, for instance, that most people have a button that they do, that's their button. Some people get on really well with the sort of wrapped and woven, which is what the star button is. But some people prefer Dorset buttons, and they're better at those. Some people prefer the Zwernknopf buttons. And with each of these different techniques, you find your button, and then you can run with it. And I think that's part of the nice thing about it. There's that many different techniques that you don't have to be frightened. If you can't manage one, we'll find you another one.
Do you know what I find fascinating as well? I mean, I know buttons go way back, but I never realized there was all these different styles of buttons that you made in such a way. It's fascinating. How did you get into the history of button making? Because we'll talk about where it's led you, because I always get you to tell this story because I love it. But we'll talk about where it's gotten you in a moment. Where did it all begin? That's what's interesting.
Well, I was doing reenactment.
Okay.
And I was doing the medieval reenactment. Well, no, it's a little bit more complex than that even. I was an illustrator that did historical romance book covers. So I did the book covers for like Mills and Boon.
You did.
Yeah. So you had to obviously know a bit about costume.
Yes.
And then
what sort
I got into
costumes?
No, it was historical romance, so I had to know like the right period. So being from Leicester, I used to get requested by one of the authors back in the 80s who specialized in Richard III and Ricardian romances. Because she knew I knew. Yeah, she knew. She was a member of the Richard III Society. Oh, this is all very complex, and these tangled webs.
This is very good.
She liked it that I actually knew what the costume was. even though the editors 9 times out of 10 would reject it because it wasn't, you'd have to go back and, you know, have their hair flowing or longer eyelashes and stuff like that. So it
make them
wasn't,
more,
yeah.
is it
Yeah, yeah, less historical.
Okay. There's nothing
So
wrong with a Buxton wench or whatever you call it.
exactly.
We all had to make a living back then.
And so then I sort of went into graphic design, stopped doing that, got bored with that, went into just graphic design, and then became a reenactor.
Okay.
And
of the romance novels.
No.
Sorry.
No, by this time I was, you know, far too much of an old married woman to do that, Janice, really.
Never.
But and so with the reenactment, I then got involved more into the costume and the trimmings part of it because I already did weaving and embroidery anyway. I'd always done that. And so with learning about the weaving, and then I got asked by a costumer, can you weave me however meters of this particular trim because I'm doing this costume, I'm remaking this piece from the museum, we're going to put it on show, and oh, by the way, can you make these buttons? And I said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And it was like 2 weeks intense figuring it out, up all night trying to figure it out because I couldn't find anything about how to actually make them. I had no idea. And sent off some samples back up to the museum, and they sent back and they said, this one looks like it came right off of the doublet.
Is that like those pictures with the dogs in the doublets in the pubs? Is that what a doublet is? Although I call I normally call them dog in a double.
And yeah, so that is really where it's at. That's where it then, because I'd spent that 2 weeks trying to figure that out, I started noticing a bunch of others. So, oh, I can make that. Oh, I can make that. And it then developed into a bit of an obsession. So years later, here we are.
I'm glad it did go into an obsession because, of course, you've made buttons not just for museums and book covers for Mills and Boom, but for actual royalty. I mean, I still love this story, and I dine out on it like it's my own, but it's not. It's yours. So, what is that story?
Which one? The tassels.
All of them that you made for the king and the queen, the tassels, the rope,
well,
everything.
I'm really lucky. I'm very lucky that I've managed through it to work with a livery tailor in a Savile Row tailor, but who does livery for the palace. So when they're remaking things, he will say, "Oh, how do we do this? I don't know how to do this. Oh, does Gina know how to do this?" And then I get to do this sort of thing. So yeah, I've made a lot of garter tassels. Over Christmas, I've just worked on, it's on my Facebook page. Did some knots for some ceremonial dress for, I'm not actually sure who it's for, but I've seen the coat that it's going to go on, and it's like got 3,000 meters of pure gold braid hand stitched on it. So
is it a big gown or a small one? Are we talking children or adults?
No, it's actually for a woman. It's one of the military. It's ceremonial dress, but it's for one of the military. It's someone who's been appointed, and so he's had to make this garment special because she's a woman and it's normally a man. Normally, you see, with a lot of the livery things, they redo a lot of the stuff. You know, the palace doesn't just, new person in, make it. They make over, they turn, they reuse. But of course, this was a woman. So he had to make it to fit a much
A woman.
smaller than a 6-foot man.
Smaller
And
than a 6-foot
it's a
man.
very, very lovely garment. It's a dress garment. It's probably something for state opening of Parliament or something like that. You know, one of the people who stands, it's red and it's gold, and it's not for a member of the family.
Oh, it's not?
It's for
Parliament.
it will be for
Do you know?
one
Do you know?
it's one of the military appointments people. So but I don't know what all of the different titles are. I just sort of get told, can you make this? Yes.
Military appointed person who's a
It
lady.
was, the thing is this particular, these cords,
Yes.
they're cords and they're all knotted and they've got this beautiful gold plated aglet at the bottom and this gold knot. The cords themselves were so fragile that they've been wrapped within an inch of their life and then just a bit exposed where I had to put the knot on.
Do you ever think to yourself, I just need to trim some of that gold thread just
I'll tell you what, it is so precious it's measured out.
It's not.
It is, yeah.
God,
it's
just a little trim to
all measured. It's
melt it down.
Hang on, just a minute. Hang on.
Can you imagine having that responsibility? And that coat's going to be worn by somebody in. It's not been worn yet, has it? Do you still have it?
No.
Okay.
So
do you have?
That is the real gold ribbon. And so, as you can see, it's exact measurements. These are for the garter tassels that I put together.
Do you have to have guards standing outside your house?
Probably. And so each piece is being carefully measured before it's set, because it is that, and it is honestly that sort of.
Do you have to sign something? You know, when you get these things brought to you, and I'm sure they're not second class, they'll be signed delivery. Do you have to sign something to say, I'm not going to tell anybody about this, even though we're on Facebook now telling the world? Do you have to?
Not these. I'm pretty discreet anyways. When I do films, I have to sign non-disclosures often.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you know that I was an extra in The Duchess? Did I ever?
Know? I do know. That film does not have enough thread buttons, but that's beside the point.
Do you know what? It was fascinating doing that, because when I turned up to be an extra, they said, you lot over there, you're aristocrats, you lot over there, you're the paupers. And the detail that they went into, they put dirt underneath people's fingernails. And then with aristocrats, we all had to have our hair sort of pinched in little laggy bands, elastic bands. And then the wig was on and the makeup, but the costume, even like the undergarments, had to be exactly as they were back in the day.
If they're not, the gown won't fit.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell a good film and a good costume.
Really?
And I mean, yeah, and I mean, to be honest, Aristocrats is beautiful costume anyways. You know, I know that there are people, there's always somebody who can pick something out because they have to cut corners.
Yeah.
But if they start with good foundations, then it forces you to stand correctly.
That's true. Yeah, they tried to get me in a corset, but when they put it on and they were pulling it so tight, I suddenly had like a bit of a panic. So I told them I'd broke a rib, which I kind of had. I had like a skiing accident years and years before. I says, oh no, I've broke a rib, you can't do that. So they had to stitch it and pin it at the back. So they didn't pull it tight. But there was a girl that fainted that did actually, because they were proper pulling it tight. I mean, it really was amazing. And whenever we left the scene, we had to put it was almost like a bag over us to hide the costume, because it was being filmed at what was it, up in Derbyshire, Chatsworth House.
Yeah.
And Jane came along to watch it, but I had to stay in this bag. But then that evening, I got a message from my friend saying, I can't believe it, we've just seen you on the evening news. You're the filming for the Dutch. Did I ever tell you this? And I'm like, and I'm like, you saw me? And they were like, yeah. And I went, what, how? Because we didn't allow anyone on the film set. They were like, you were going up to the Portaloo, you had your dress up around your bum, and you were marching up the steps to the toilet. And I was on BBC News. It's ridiculous. I was cut from the film. I'm on the DVD though. I'm on the DVD, the director's cut. But all my friends, I said, you've got to come to the cinema to see this. And I sat them all down. We're sitting there, well, all three of my friends, and we're sitting there like this, waiting. And I'm thinking, a scene's coming up. They're going to see me in a minute, because I proper went past the camera, and the scene never appeared. So they spent millions at Chatsworth House, but it is in the director's cut on the DVD. So those scenes are there, because it was a beautiful
that's
setting.
good.
But I can from that, I can imagine the detail and understand what goes into costumes.
Yeah, it does depend. Obviously, the biggest thing is on the first hand, it depends on the budget.
Yeah.
Sometimes a costume designer or a director will have a vision that doesn't really have much to do with history. It has to do with getting a point across and things like that. And so therefore the costume will then reflect that when it's not historically accurate, sort of thing. But generally, you know, if they've bothered to ask me, because buttons are something that honestly can be fudged unless they want to go for a particular detail, and then they want to zoom into something and they want to see that. Do you see what I mean? It's something that 9 times out of 10, again, you don't even notice it. On Napoleon, I did quite a few different buttons, and I cannot see all of them at all. I've watched it. I haven't seen some of these things, and it's like, where are they? And you just don't see them at all. So because they don't, I know they're on that costume, but if the camera doesn't pan into that, you don't see them at all anyway.
So what would you say is your greatest achievement, or proudest, not greatest because they're all great, I'll rephrase that. What are you most proud of from a button or something that you've made for either royalty or TV or film? What's the one that you can say, I did that?
Probably still the first one.
The King Richard?
No, the doublet in the Perth, for the Perth Museum. Yeah, the one that started me on buttons. I'd done a lot of trimming before that, but
yeah,
it is a button that still many people don't know how to make. I've just been asked to make the same technique button for a museum in Austria.
Oh, really? So worldwide?
For an exhibition that they're doing, because there's a lot of people who make buttons.
Yes.
But there's not a lot of people who can make that button.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that one's probably still the one I'm most pleased about. I'm actually doing a book to put them all in, including the difficult ones. Yeah. It's taken me rather a long time, because it's very historical. It's not just my how-tos. It's this button is on this garment. Here's how to make this button. So it's been a bit of a lifetime thing.
Wow, that's so.
And it's just pre-1800s as well.
Gosh, it's so interesting. How, you know, when people do these archaeological digs, like they've done some at Bradgate Park.
Yeah.
You know, they've gone back to the Bronze Age and things like that. But you know, in archaeological digs, I'm sure there is still like gowns that they find with buttons on that haven't disintegrated. Do you ever look into things like that?
Yes, it's quite rare to find the buttons that I study in the ground, because being textile, that tends to rot. So unless they've had metal threads on them, you actually, which is a bit eerie, but there are sort of medieval graves and crypts where royalty had been laid, that they then have moved, like the de Medicis, a few of them, they have some beautiful thread buttons on some of their garments that have survived. And so that's where you sort of learn with a lot of them. But every once in a while, you know, they'll find a button that's slipped through the floorboards of a castle when they're,
Gosh.
and they will be the right layer to be sort of the period that I want. And yeah, this is what the big book is. And I've got over 200 buttons in my database. Now, some of these are based on art, so it's not entirely sort of all, but I am just basically going through, looking at this stuff, working out the instructions,
Wow.
writing them all down,
But you
finding
document.
another museum picture, doing the instruction. Well, they very rarely say what size a button is. It's just 36 buttons. So you have to sort of do the measurement of the garment and say, okay, if there's 36 buttons, that means they're probably about 8 millimeters each, you know, and things like that, because it is actually quite overlooked. But yeah, it's a little bit of an obsession sometimes.
Is there like a secret button group that know, like the Illuminati, that knows the secrets about all buttons, and you keep it all to yourself, but then you only release certain buttons out?
Not really.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. We most of those of us who do button making do try to teach others. I think it's because there's a core of people here, sort of with me. There's a couple of people in the United States. There are some excellent people in Germany and Austria who have done a heck of a lot of research in buttons on their garments. And sort of before the internet, we were all working independently, and then we all sort of found each other almost all at the same time. And we all teach, and we all sort of share the instructions, and they'll say, oh, here, I've got this button. There are on Facebook, there's obviously my Facebook group.
Which is?
Gina B. Silkworks group.
Thank you very much.
And so we've got loads of people making buttons. We've actually got a challenge this year, which is 1 button a week.
Okay.
And I've got prompt words. And so basically make a button, any button. You can make it out of clay, you can make it out of wood, you can make it out of thread. It doesn't matter, based on the prompt. So, for instance, last week, our first week was glitter. So lots and lots of beautiful buttons made with glittery thread. There is a German language group, Facebook group called Knopf. And again, it's mainly German speakers, but they're working with the thread buttons in Germany. There is also a new group that is called Making Dorset Buttons, so specifically for Dorset buttons, where people are sharing all of their makes, basically, so you can see lots of inspiration. So it's a pretty, you know, we're pretty okay. We're pretty sharey.
I think, do you know what? I think it's amazing. I really do. And something else that's amazing that can connect us. One, of course, is Leicestershire.
Oh, yes.
2 is Richard III, because we live in a house that's built on a farm owned by the Grey family, which of course, Richard Grey.
Exactly.
So after this interview and all day tomorrow, I am digging up the whole of the garden that way, the whole of the garden that way. I'm getting my metal detector out. I'm going to get Millie out, and we're going to see if we can find some buttons in the garden, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Gina, it's been absolutely fascinating.
Thank you.
You've got to come on again, because we've only talked about the buttons. You've got a whole lace story to talk about. So we'll get you back to talk about that.
Definitely.
But lots of people have been asking in the comments. I know I've not mentioned them as we've been going on, but I don't like to break it up too much when we're chatting, because it's so fascinating. But people want to know, have you written books? Well, yes, you have. So how can we get hold of those books, Gina?
Primarily on my website, ginabsilkworks.co.uk. I've got one that's on a print on demand through Amazon, so if you're sort of further afield. And then again, on my website, if you happen to be in the United States, Canada, we've got some stockists over there. So if you scroll down and look at overseas stockists, if you're a little, they don't stock sort of our full range, but they do often have the core and the books. So you can sort of cheaper postage, if you're actually based over there, because obviously it is still overseas postage. So yeah, that's where you can find us.
You do online workshops?
At the moment, I'm still, like I said, this internet thing. I've got a couple of online workshops again on my website, which are on-demand workshops.
Okay.
I'm hoping if I can sort out this internet thing that I will be able to do sort of more
Lives
involved live sort of
Good.
workshops. I have a YouTube channel with lots and lots and lots of how-to videos.
And is that Gina
and that's
Silkwork?
Gina B Silkworks as
Yeah.
well. So
if you just put Gina B in, you might find something else.
You might, but there is, I understand, a porn star by the name of Gina B. So you might want to put Gina B Buttons or Gina B. I don't know if she's still around, but about 5 years ago, she certainly was.
What her buttons look like. Wow, no, I was thinking more of the Eurovision Song Contest. Gina B, ooh, are just a little bit, not like ooh, well, just a little bit.
I was going to comment. You had your girls just want to have fun on your thing, and I was about to comment. Why didn't you put just a little bit?
Of course, ooh, are just a little bit. Well, that's how much I've enjoyed tonight. I never knew there was a porn star, Gina B. Now I did. Now I know. Now I know. Totally different buttons. Totally different buttons. But
what can I say?
Absolutely nothing. So we can find you GinaBSilkworks.co.uk. Find you online, find you on Facebook, and you'll be coming on here again because we've still got loads to talk about, Gina.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's so good to see you again. Because that's
yes,
the one
it is good to see you.
Being
now you miss seeing everybody, don't you?
Yeah, you do. So you've got to come on again so we can have this good chat and just catch up again. It's been absolutely brilliant. So Gina, I wish you a good night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's just change that and let's just do that. Oh, she's fantastic, isn't she? And Els. Wow. So we've got the giveaway from Els. Just put yes, please. I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to let this run on so you can watch it again. Gina B, fascinating. When you get into the history of buttons and the what's the word? The fiddliness, but there's a posher word for it than that. It's fascinating. It really is. And to know all the details as well. And Gina doing all of that work for the royalty. So we'll have to look out for that gown together in Parliament. Not that we all watch Parliament, but have a look for it because I guess that will be there in the next month or so, some kind of ceremony. Absolutely fascinating. Right, I am going to leave you all. I'm going to take all of my diaries that I've got here that I was showing Els that I've not seen for ages. Actually, I could flick through these and find you a page and read out, but there's all sorts of things. This is kind of like what. So, for example, that was when I was working at the BBC. So I've got lots of contacts in there, BBC and film and TV related, which is interesting. Oh. No, I had Nick Cayman's number, but so I do. But there you go. I think in one of these, I've got some very famous people's telephone numbers. I wasn't allowed to share at the time. I won't share now. They're probably not even there. But wow, yeah, look at that. When you look back, crikey. Anyhow, that's what I'm going to do for the next hour or two. Before I do, I'll show you this and I'll go. Because we were talking about memories and not scrapbooking, journaling and things like that. I've been looking for a piece of paper for ages and ages. And I found it tonight, and it's from Australia, and it's from quite a few years back. I'll tell you a quick story about this, and then I'll go. So, I was in Australia at the time, and there was a big wheelbarrow race for charity going on. So, me and my friends said, let's do it. Let's do a wheelbarrow race, and let's do it for charity, and we'll get in on it. So, here's the picture. I shall point out where I am. Here I am. got longer hair. Can you see that? If I bring that close to the camera, that's me just there. And though that's Rachel, that was Lisa, I think. I'm not sure who that was, can't remember. But anyway, there's me. So we were running along. We're taking it in turns of pushing the wheelbarrow. So there you go. There's a race. You'll see at that point, we're kind of coming second. Okay, coming second. So there we were in the race, running. And Lisa, my friend, or one of them, she hurt a leg. So we were like, oh, we can't finish all this money for charity. And the person that we were running for said, don't worry, get in the van. We'll put the wheelbarrow in the van. We'll take you down to the end. So at least you can be there. You can be part of the celebrations. So he drove us towards the end of the race. And I said, no, come on. Let's finish in style. Let's not just drive up, get out the van in the wheel. Let's get the wheelbarrow out. At least we'll do the last 100 meters. So we got the wheelbarrow out. We started going down the hill. We're like, we're all right, girls. Come on, Lisa, we're okay. Put Lisa in the wheelbarrow. She's hurt her leg. Don't worry, we'll push you down. So we were doing that. And then all of a sudden, we looked up and a band started playing. And then loads of people started throwing up balloons and streamers. And they went, winner, here's the winner of the race. And as we ran through the ticker tape, we what could we say? We couldn't say that somebody had just driven us up in a van and we'd only done the last 100 meters. So yeah, we were the winners of that race. But that's the story from Australia from all those years ago, 1992. Look at that, 1992. And I found that because I was looking through some old stuff, and I'll give you a quick look at this and then I'm going to go. It's a long time ago. Young People Now. Volume 1, 1989, £1.50. Look at the young people. Young People Now, back in 1989. And in here, hang on, let me just see what it says. Oh, I was 20 years old. Look at that, 20 years old. There's me, 20 years old, at the radio station. There you go. And that was me in a magazine. I'm glad they bleached out my face there a little bit. But that was at Epic. If you know Leicester, that's Epic House, 9th floor in Leicester. But there you go, things you find out. This would be an interesting read, actually, to head back through to see what the year 1989 was all about. There you go. Anyway, that's something for me to read later on. But it's been absolutely fantastic seeing you all tonight. I will see you again on Thursday. Oh, hi, Glenn. Nice to see you watching. Nice to see you, Caroline, Kendra, Jackie, Karen, Maureen. Thank you to Gina. Hello, Liam. I see you're watching tonight. Have you been? Were you at the Man U match the other night? If you come to Leicester, let me know, Liam, please. And I'll tell you not to bother. No, I'm only kidding. If you come to Leicester to do some filming, let me know. We'll meet up. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Barbara, for watching. Thank you, Sheila, Kathy, Sarah, Fiona. Thanks ever so much, Mary, and everybody that's joined in tonight. I'll see you again on Thursday. Different time, though. 4 o'clock in the afternoon from Clarity Towers. Can't wait. And I hope you're all going to will me over that bridge. It's all going to be good, right? It's all going to be good. As long as it's not windy, I'll be fine. If not, I'm going around the other way. But I shall see you on Thursday at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a lovely couple of days and I'll see you then. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, don't forget to put yes, please. I'll choose a winner.